we want to talk about the variety of foods. What are the Dinga people variety of foods? Like I earlier mentioned, the Dinga do eat meat, they eat vegetable, they eat the chicken, they eat the fruits, they drink the milk, they have the bananas, of course. Not everybody has the bananas, but randomly people have bananas. They will find it in the market. They will eat. Those who don't farm the bananas, they will buy it in the market. Papayas and the lemons, they are everywhere. So this is just the picture of how the Didinga diet look like. Okay, and next slide here, I just wanted to demonstrate again and show to you what kind of food do Didinga people consume. Like I earlier said, they do farm those sorghum, maize or corns, millet, sesame, cassava, and groundnuts, sweet potatoes, and beans. So all these are the combination of diets that the Dinga people have in their land. So let's talk about the beekeeping. The Didinga people, like I earlier said, they do have the love for honey, and therefore they have ways of doing the beekeeping. How they gather their honey is actually very different from the modern beekeeping lifestyle. What they do, the Didinga people gather their honey as well. They do have very special beehives that they use to gather the bees to come into that beehive so they can produce honey. Honey is considered a very special type of food, and it is usually served to a very special guest, and also it is used for adding it into beer, local beer, as to kind of like increase the strongness of the beer taste to it. So this is a typical way of keeping the bees. So the Dinga people will make a wooden sort of wood that is hollow inside, and then they cover on both ends. The bees will find a little hole that is left for them to kind of enter through, and they will go inside this hollow wood that is curved and enclosed from both ends, and leave only maybe small entrance to allow the bees to get through. And the bees will also, even if there was a big hole, they will try to make sure they seal it off so nothing can enter in. So then they put it high up the tree, and after some time the bees will produce a lot of honey, and then the owner of the beehive will come here and extract the honey outside this. Like they use the same smoking mechanism or method to scare the bees, and then open one of the end and then scoop off the honey inside this. So here's the typical example of honeycombs that are being extracted from those honey bee hives. So it looked like very black, but there's a very rich contents of honey inside this combs. All sometime what you have to do is just grab one of these combs and put it in your mouth and squeeze off the honey. Once you get the honey, you spit off the wax, and that's how it's eaten, like that, straight from the beehive. So of course, once you squeeze the honey out of the honeycomb, if it's pure, you will put in containers like this and seal it off using those wax, and store it in a granary somewhere where children don't reach to it, because if you keep this anywhere, anybody can actually grab it and eat it. So it has to be kept somewhere safe, and it can only be removed when a special occasion is there, or celebration of some kind, or if somebody said let's get some for beer or something, mix it in a brew to make it stronger, they will grab it from their storage. But leaving this around anyhow, anybody will just keep opening it and scooping something out until it's finished. It's a special honey that is always stored in this, and it's not supposed to be accessible to anyone except the elderly person who is responsible for saying today we're going to have honey. Otherwise it's kept there until the decision is made for its consumption.